Ooh, big mistake, man. Somebody got fined last night. Somebody get fined at WrestleMania for messing up the main event. The brand new rumor, this is almost confirmed, though, to be honest. Let's talk about this. This is, this is a good one. This is a good one. It's unfortunate, though, you know, for everybody involved.
You're listening to The Joe Cronin Show, a wrestling podcast with attitude.
So apparently, you know, I'm not really sure still on the information as to how the match was supposed to end, but apparently it is possible that the match was going to end the way it did with that crucifix roll-up. I believe it was. And basically, Ronda's shoulders weren't down, so it was a botched pin. And as we've talked about several times over the years here on the Joe Cronin Show, but maybe some of the new listeners maybe don't know about this, but most of the hardcores out there know that the WWE referees are instructed to not count. If the shoulders aren't down, not count. They're supposed to treat it like a real actual rules. It's a shoot as far as the referee is concerned when the shoulders go down. I'm sure like a slight discrepancy is okay, but a massive one like that, the referee should obviously see, oh my God, no, your shoulder's not down. So the referee would stop and then check or say, hey, shoulders aren't down. And then when the shoulders go down, then continue counting again. But instead, the referee, apparently he just went ahead, obviously, as we all saw, he went ahead and just counted the 3 anyway, which was awkward. It was weird. A lot of people weren't sure about it. And I wasn't either, man. I've seen a lot of things, you know what I mean, over the years, and this was a surprising one. And apparently it's being maybe being blamed on the referee, and apparently Vince McMahon was not happy, and he was upset a little bit, and the referee ended up being fined. And Vince McMahon explained why, you know, he messed up and how he could have done the right job. And those are the rumors that are out there right now. One of the problems was apparently why they all just kind of panicked into, well, this has to be the ending, was that Ronda had practiced this ending. They had all practiced this ending, I guess, and this was what they were supposed to do. And when the shoulders weren't fully down, referee just counted the 3. I mean, you're locked into how the finish is supposed to happen. And you know, sometimes when you know how it's going to end and it's the main event at Mania, it's supposed to be exciting or surprising, you know, you're a referee and you know it's supposed to happen that way. It's kind of hard to be like, let me not count the 3, your shoulders aren't down. You know, you're like, no, this is supposed to happen. 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute, like what? Oops, you know, like it's too late. You're already too late. He also didn't have the best look at the shoulders. Like in actuality, really, he didn't have the best look. But they were so far above the mat at some point that you had to have known that just didn't look right. One of the worst main events in history. One of the weirdest main events in history. You know, everybody was like, "Oh, you're never happy. You got what you wanted with Becky. You got what." I don't know why I did like a weird accent with that. You got what you wanted with Becky, you idiots. It's like, yeah. I mean, first of all, I didn't, like, love Becky. You know, I liked her at a certain point when she was the hottest she was. And I don't mean visually. I mean, you know, as far as support and how well she was doing on TV. And then they killed her with that knee injury and a weirdness. And to me, I just gave up on the whole thing and didn't care about it anymore. All I cared about was Kofi and Bryan by the end of Mania. And so, you know, that doesn't matter. Yeah, she won. Who cares? Like, the match was terrible. You know what I mean? So yeah, you got the result you wanted. Becky won. I still watched a piece of crap in the ring. What am I supposed to be happy about that? Yeah, a lot of times I want somebody to win, but if they don't win, as long as the match was good or something interesting happened, you know, you can argue about that later. Like, oh, they didn't win, you know. When you start getting mad about who didn't win and that stuff, that's when you become more of a fan. That's when you're more of a mark, you know. But when you care about what happens in the match, how they get to the end, and how they end it, like, that's when you're, you know, you care more about that. You're not just like, oh, my favorite person must win. You know, just entertain me. If I'm entertained and the person I actually like doesn't win, all right, I'm going to put my feelings aside as a fan and then get into reviewing the actual situation. Did I think that that person should have won? Was the match good? And the fact of the matter is the match was not very good. The match was just not good. The best thing that happened in the match, the highlight, was the drop kick on Ronda where she fell outside the ring. Everything else, I forgot about everything. It was one of Charlotte's worst matches, and she usually has good matches. You know, Ronda just kept doing the same jump-up moves like a little bit, but I like Ronda, so she's kind of weird. She reminds me of Ken Shamrock a lot. You know, how he kind of was a little bizarre in the ring, but he was cool because he was such a badass. You know, and Becky just looks like a paperweight out there. I don't know why. And just doesn't, I don't feel like, I don't feel it, man. I'm not feeling it. And the bottom line is, the whole thing wasn't very good, and then whatever the hell that was at the end, whether it was planned, botched, referee botched it. I mean, here's the thing. The wrestlers botched it. The wrestlers botched it, number one. But the referee sealed the botch. Like, assuming it is on the referee. If it's not on this poor guy, and this rumor's out there, this poor guy's getting buried for no reason, he shouldn't be getting buried. But if the talent screws up, that's one thing. Because the referee can choose not to count and tell them, do it again, do something different. Go to plan B. Or pin her for real. And then he counts. You know, if she has to repin her again, that's a botch, but then the match ends the right way. If they get out of it, Ronda goes for the armbar, and then again, you know, Becky counters it and rolls her up or something, and then they get the pin. Well, then they get to go home clean. They had a little botch. Becky had to fix it. They went home clean. Then it's not the referee's fault at all. Then the referee's completely off the hook. And now it becomes the talent had a botch, and then they closed out the match. But now it's the talent had a botch, the referee had a botch, and the main event looked stupid. And that's the facts. If that's what's happening, then there's your facts. The talent botched, the referee botched, and a lot of people want to say, oh, the talent botched, don't blame the referee. No, you should blame the referee. He messed up. It's his job to not make them look stupid. It's his job. He's the one in control of saying, nope, her shoulders aren't down, her shoulders aren't down. Because they get to the back, and Ronda says, what the fuck, referee? Well, Vince McMahon is going to say, hey, Ronda, your shoulders weren't down. You know, hey, Becky, your shoulders weren't down. Or maybe Vince will say, yeah, ref, you son of a bitch, get out of here. And then he might say, Becky, I'm sorry, and like, you know, you guys got to make sure the shoulders go down. And then he can go to the referee and say, hey, listen, I yelled at you, but you didn't do anything wrong. Good job. You know, that's what you're supposed to do. Whatever it is, you know. But the bottom line is, talent botched, referee botched, main event was botched, match sucked anyway. So here we are, guys. That's all there is to it. I'll see you guys after SmackDown tonight. My name is Joe Cronin. Here is all the other stuff you guys might have missed. There's new videos I just uploaded in the last few minutes. Here, they're all popping up on your screen right now. Go watch them if you missed them. Some interesting stuff going on.